Alright, so this time with the Garmin GPS 796 with a 914 AR-1C convertible. Greg is the test pilot, and this time he's carrying a dummy weight in the back. That's Levi, and Levi has worked in the shop a lot with us to make this a reality, and Greg has got the big balls to take Levi with him, but we have already test flown the machine, so we know what it's doing. At least it's safe enough to take extra weight and see how it performs. Checking out with a co-pilot for test purposes. Levi weighs about 240. Levi is the first to be a co-pilot in that machine to fly, besides Greg.
Sever traffic, Black Ranger Gyro, taking runway 23, remaining in the pattern, Sever.
So Greg has been our test pilot, contract test pilot for a while, involved in improving design elements, tail, rudder, sizing, things like that. And Levi is actually new to gyroplanes, but an excellent metal fabricator and tremendous TIG welder. Takeoff, that's pretty close to about 1,200 pounds, or maybe 1180, 1190. Right there, Levi is pretty big. He's about 240.
Sever traffic, Black Ranger Gyro, clearing active 237.
this is the AR-1 test flight with pilot and co-pilot done to see how it performs with the extra weight with the canopy. This is production prototype, essentially production 1, not the real prototype, but production prototype, I should say, or production number 1. Levi 240 pounds, Greg was about 215. I think they're 5'10", 5'11", and here it is. And when they get away, I'll take a little look inside the cockpit. It's very similar. There's no real big difference except that, hey, Greg, leave it open so I can kind of show the cockpit. So the same cockpit as we had. We still haven't put on the noise eliminator in the back because we want to keep an eye on what's happening in the back more. So it's a little loud right now, but there's these scoops. I call these canopy doors. They're below the canopy and it hinges right there at that element. One canopy door goes in with all these screws right here, and there's I think 9 of them, and you put them in with the Allen socket fastener with a flexible extender, so you don't hit the glass as much, so you can flex it and extend it. So that goes and remains in, and then the canopy slides on through these hinges right here. The hinge just slides in, the pin slides in, and you install this door, you put this in the hinge, you install this guy, which is the front of the engine cowling, and there's 2 screws that hold it. You won't see the screws out here because they are from the inside out, and they are into a nut plate that's installed in there, so you don't see them. And then there's a jog, and there's these screws right here, and they hold this guy up, and then there is this holding it with some rubber dampening there. And here's some NACA scoops that pressurize the inside, so there's no pressure differential. You are seeing some funky airflow stuff, and the front of the cockpit is very similar. In this case, the customer had selected the Garmin 796. It's a 914, so it didn't have the transponder, but that's up to them. But have the Garmin 796, which is just as much as a transponder, and that's it. And then the latches go in these. There's 2 of them, one for the front seat, one for the back seat, and the latches are sort of like that. With the handle is the latch, and it goes in. There's a guide pin. You got to be careful putting it down. You need to see where you're going a little bit as the canopy comes down, and line that guiding pin in the front and the back into this hole right there, this oversized round hole in the front, and it'll guide you in. Once you are in that, you can put the latch, and the latch will go and attach to that bolt in there at the back that you're seeing, and it's a very positive lock, and that's it. Other than that, it looks just like the AR-1 standard, and when you're done with the winter, you slide the canopy out, basically essentially undo this strap right here that holds the canopy. Just undo that strap literally, and the canopy can be slid back front to back carefully with 2 people in a minute. Canopy comes off, and then all you have to do is uninstall these screws, these 9 screws. Take that canopy frame door off, and you uninstall this guy that's held with 4 screws, and you uninstall these about 9 screws here, and everything is off and back to a regular AR-1. About 20-minute job. 2 people are required just because of the canopy.